All right, welcome back, guys. So in this video, I want to just talk about retirement in Gen X in particular. A video came across my feed from CBS stating Gen X is basically screwed. You know, average savings is $150,000. A lot of them are basically praying for a miracle to be able to retire. I want to talk about my SEP IRA account. I'm going to show you that. I'm also going to talk about the trust prices, and I'm going to tell you why we shouldn't sweat it in terms of where price action is and where our portfolio values are today in comparison to where they were just a few months ago. So first of all, let me just say a few things about the retirement stuff. It is sad to me. I've said this in videos before that people are not taught about saving and investing. They aren't taught about finance. It really irritates me. We are basically created to be cogs in the wheel, you know, to just go to work 9 to 5 and hopefully figure out how to save some money to retire in style, hopefully, or even retire just barely. $150,000 average savings for Gen X is very small. Now, I know there are a lot of people that have a lot more, but there are a lot of people that have less than this. There are a lot of them. And it's so this is like this is the average, right? This is the mean. It's not the median. They didn't say what the median is, but it's the mean. It's the average. And that's not very much. Now, you know, a lot of people are adverse to investing in crypto and thereby Grayscale as well. But the difference, like in your thought process about how you want to go about investing, makes a big deal in your outcome, and it affects your life. Money isn't everything in life, as you know, as I've said before. It's like, but it's an important thing, and if you don't have it, you're kind of screwed. You can't pay your bills. It's like you end up with issues. It's like you can end up homeless, living out of your Jeep. You know, like me. Like somebody said, I'm homeless, living out of my Jeep. But in all seriousness, there are people that actually end up being homeless, and that's not cool. That's not good. So it is a problem. Let me just show you my SEP IRA account and where it's at. I want to show you the price action and where I think it's going to go. Because it's crazy what investing in the right asset, if you know about it and you get into it early enough at the right time, what it can do for you. Okay, so check this out. So this is my SEP IRA. It's down significantly from where it was about 2 months ago, but not a big deal. Who cares? You know, just under 150 grand here, 146 or 145,000 in the SEP IRA account right now. But I didn't start with that. I started with about $25,000 a year ago, and I rotated into Grayscale. And that $25,000 is still way up from where I started. Okay, way up. So this is like somebody doesn't need to go all in on Grayscale like I do. I mean, it's very risky to put all your stuff into one asset. Like I would never tell somebody to go 100% in like I do, but it just shows you what can be done with the money that you put in. So if somebody has 150 grand and they decided to risk 25 grand, for example, they could have this right now sitting, you know, if they invested at the same time, bought it at the same price, all that kind of stuff as I did, they'd be approximately here. So I also want to say something looking at the price chart. Okay, so we can look at this price chart and go, man, this is a huge crash in the past couple months, like the highs from end of March and April. It's really depressing to see our portfolios down. But guess what, guys? Everybody that was with me, and a lot of you were at the end of last year, beginning of this year, we saw a big run up in the prices in January, and it's like, and then they crashed. And it's like a lot of us were like, oh, damn, this isn't fun. And it's like a lot of the haters were like, your trust prices crashed. Okay, you can barely see that rise that happened in January. It's like a little blip. Okay, and then moving on into March and into April, we had incredible run-ups in the trust prices, which caused our portfolios to look pretty, green, and we were pretty happy with that. And then things have slowly eroded, and it's like, hopefully we're at a turning point, but still, it's like we're way down. Okay, but still, what's going to happen? What is this pump and dump going to look like in 6 to 9 months? It's going to look like what the pump and dump from January looks like. It's just a little blip. It's not, I don't think it's going to look like a big deal. It's all, we'll be able to see that in hindsight. Okay, it's not, we're going to be focused on the amazing prices that we get in this bull run. And we're not going to sweat the small stuff. It's just part of the journey. Right, it's part of the journey. It's part of the drive. But I mean, even looking at the SEP IRA, a $25,000 investment a year ago, it reached a high point of about $350,000. That's pretty damn good. That's an awesome return. But even with where it's fallen right now, it's still an awesome return. Even if I were to say I'm going to cash out, I'm out of here. What an amazing return. I had $25,000 invested, and I've got 145. You know, not a bad return at all. Just where we're at right now. Way better performance. Way better performance than sticking that $25,000 into growth stocks or index funds or high yield dividend ETFs. Nobody can beat this. There's not another asset out there that I know of that has done this, you know, in that amount of time. I mean, maybe there's like been a growth stock that's just like rocketed that I'm not aware of, but in general, that's not how they work. Even the really good ones, the fast moving ones like Nvidia, well, they're not going to move like this fast. This is pretty fast. So you have to take it with a grain of salt. And you just have to know that months from now, we're going to be in a really good spot. And looking back at this pump and dump, it's going to be just like a little bump in the road, nothing. Like your portfolio is going to be looking pretty good unless something disastrous happens in the world and the crypto bull run is canceled. We should be pretty good, you know? So anyway, keep that in mind. I just wanted to talk about this because it is an example of like, it's really depressing that so many Gen Xers, and doesn't apply to just Gen X. I mean, the millennials and Gen Z, they're pretty much screwed too in terms of like where they're at in terms of retirement savings, but they have more time than Gen X. But Gen X, man, I mean, $150,000 average savings, that's not good. And that's, like I said, that's average. People have more, people have less. So a lot of people are going to be hurting a lot. They're going to be reliant a lot upon Social Security, which isn't that much to get by in this day and age, you know, because a lot of people still have a mortgage going into retirement. I mean, I don't want to give retirement advice, but it's like, if I could say anything, like don't go into retirement with a mortgage. Like pay off your debts, have your debts, like get rid of that stuff, and don't have that kind of stuff because it can really hurt you, especially in retirement when you're on a limited income. Unless you're making mad money through your investments, you got to be really careful about that kind of stuff. But anyway, so just you guys, most of you, not all of you, it depends, because if somebody put in $1,000, you're not going to get here, but most of you are going to end up with more after taxes from Grayscale than 150,000. Probably most of you, maybe not all. Like if somebody put in $500 or $1,000, they're probably not going to get that unless they just do mad rotation. Maybe they could get that. It is possible, but most of you will, and you'll be far ahead of your peers. Like no matter what age group you're in, because I've got, you know, people anywhere from like 19 to like 70 something watching my videos. So it's like this can make a huge impact, not only on your short term like outlook and quality of life, but your long term quality of life in terms of your retirement savings and your retirement income. So yeah, so kudos to you guys for getting in on what I think is a great investment. I think we're going to do phenomenally. It's hard to wait. It's like, I don't know how it is for you guys, but I'm enjoying life and doing stuff. But I'm like, damn, okay, how many more days left until we hit the bull run? How many more days? How much longer do I and others have to wait for this stuff to happen? We have to wait. It's a waiting game. This is a game for the patient, and the rewards are only given to those who are willing to wait, because this only happens about every 4 years where we have a crypto cycle, and we have to be willing to wait our turn for a pump, a major pump, you know, in the trust prices. So our time is coming. So just hang in there and we'll be in a really good spot. You guys are going to be in a much better spot than a lot of people. So just be thankful for that. Be wise stewards of your money. Don't blow it on stupid ass shit. I've said this before. Do really good things for yourself, your family, your community. All right, I'll see you guys in the next video. You guys take care.